What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting bare face. I want to share with you my full coverage foundation routine and how I cover all of this acne scarring and discoloration and everything. So if you would like to know how I achieve my full coverage foundation routine, then keep on watching. So first, I like to go in with a very full coverage foundation that's not too matte, but still has some luminosity to it, because even though I do have oily skin, I don't want my foundation and powder and everything to be too matte, you know? So I'm going in with my tried and true, the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear foundation in the shade Bellum. When I first found out about this foundation, and when I first tried this foundation, I was so blown away, surprised. I was shocked, okay? I was shooketh. I was shooketh at the amount of coverage that it gives, especially because I do have acne prone skin, I do have discoloration, and this comes from years and years and years of puberty, and I have a natural body heat. So naturally when your body has heat, you know, and this is just how my face and my body reacts to the heat that is within me. So yeah, so I take about one, two, three, 4 pumps. I start off with 4 pumps of foundation, and I'm using that on my Morphe M439, and this is my go-to absolute favorite foundation brush ever in life. Sometimes I might use a beauty blender or my Real Technique sponge, but for the most part, I love using this foundation with my M439 by Morphe. I have 4 pumps of foundation on the back of my hand. I'm going to dab into that just a little bit, just a little, and watch this coverage, you guys. Just the amount of coverage that this foundation gives is insane. Look at that. I do still have a little bit of discoloration and acne scarring here down my neck, but the foundation has totally covered the right side of my cheek. Now we're going to continue on and applying that foundation down the neck, and this foundation is thick. So now you can see the right side of my face has foundation, and this is 4 pumps of foundation. This is the left side. As you can see, lots of discoloration, acne scarring. I don't have that much bumps on my face anymore, so this is just a remnants of past years. So now I'm gonna take 2, 3, 4 pumps of foundation, and we're going to the left side. And while applying the foundation, I'm not sweeping the foundation on my face. I am using patting motions so that it can really get into the skin and sink into the skin. That way it doesn't just lay on top. I want to press the foundation into the skin using small stippling motions. Never swiping or sweeping across the face. Stippling motions. Okay, now as you can see, I have my face covered with the foundation, and you can't really see much of the discoloration and acne scarring peeking through. This is the right side and this is the left side. Make sure that you get right here by your ear so that it can all blend in together. Now that I have the foundation complete, the next step would be to go in with concealer. I want to go in with a full coverage concealer that's not going to crease, it's not going to separate, that's going to last all day long. And that is the tried and true, my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Deep. And I also go in with Tan Sand just to add an extra highlight. Not coverage, highlight. Coverage, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep. For highlight, I'm going in with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Tan Sand. I'm going to start from the inner tear duct, start down the sides of the nose and bring it out towards this way. I know a lot of people use this technique when it comes to applying their concealers. I just like it because it just highlights the center of my face so well. And now I'm going to let the concealer sit for like a minute, just so that it can dry down a little bit before I blend it out, which is going to add a little bit more coverage. But on top of that, I'm going to add a little bit of my Tan Sand, just a tad. And we're going to let that sit. Going to take a little bit of the shade Deep up the forehead, making a little Avatar The Last Airbender mark right there. Best show ever. If you agree, hit the like button down below. On the chin, and I'm going to run this around this area here where foundation tends to break up on me. I'm not sure why that happens, but I think it's my smile lines. Look at it. Look at that. It probably has to do with my insane smile lines, but I'm going to just slather this all over this area. I'm going to take my Real Techniques sponge. You can find these at Ulta or the drugstore, and I'm going to blend out that concealer under the eye. And I'm starting from the outer corner, working my way in, and I'm going back and forth in pouncing motions. I don't want to swipe or wipe the concealer because that might take off the foundation, the concealer, and everything that we applied before. And I'm going back and forth like this as well because I don't want my concealer to settle. If I'm going in one direction, say I'm working this way, I'm pouncing this way, the concealer is going to settle that way. I want to confuse the concealer in a sense, that way it doesn't settle into my fine lines, and that way it's even and I have a nice blend. I'm also going to take that on my upper lid. And as you can see, this eye is blended out with the Tan Sand and Deep Concealer, and this side hasn't been blended out as yet. So you can see the difference between the two. So now I'm going to blend out this side, starting from the outer corner and working my way in, doing pouncing motions. And as you can see, both concealers, the Tan Sand and the Deep, did add a nice highlight to my under eyes. It's not too much, but just enough to give me that sculpted look before I add contour and bronzer and blush and everything else. So now I'm going to blend out my little arrow up here and blend out around my mouth area. So as you can see, I just want to give you a close-up on my face thus far, coverage wise and everything. I did cover up majority of my dark spots. How does it look? It's good? Yay! For powder, I'm going to be going in with a very yellow golden powder under the eyes because I feel that's going to really complement my skin tone. I do have warm undertones, so a yellow gold powder is going to be the most complimentary on me. So usually I will go in with my Sacha Buttercup powder right here. And I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison between the Sacha Buttercup powder and also the Fenty Beauty powder that was just released. So over here I have the Sacha Buttercup powder. As you can see, it's like a pale yellow gold, and the Fenty Beauty powder is a little bit darker. It's more like a mustard gold, and this one is more like a pale yellow gold. So as you can see side by side, I'm going to apply the Sacha Buttercup on the right side of my face, and I'm going to apply the Fenty Beauty powder on the left side of my face so you can see the side by side comparison with the shades and the coverage. And I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques sponge. I'm going to dip into the Sacha Buttercup powder, tap off some of the excess, and I'm going to start from the outer corner and work my way in using pouncing motions. As you can see, this side is set with the Sacha Buttercup powder and this side has not been set as yet. Now I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Honey on this side of my face. Dab into the powder. Now that the under eye is set with both powders, this side being the Sacha Buttercup and this side being the Fenty Beauty powder, you can see that there's not much of a difference. The only difference is that the Sacha Buttercup did give a little bit more of a highlight because it was that pale light yellow gold shade, and the Fenty Beauty is still a little bit darker because it was that mustardy gold shade, but both powders did add a little bit of coverage under the eyes and they both did set really well. Before I set the rest of my face, I want to go in with some cream contouring. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Matchstick Trio. Mine are a little dirty, but I have mine in the shade Espresso, Suede, and Cinnamon. So I have Espresso, Suede, and the highlight shade, which is Cinnamon. I'm going to take the shade Espresso and I want to warm it up on the back of my hand first. Because these can be really matte, but I want it to be a little bit more creamy, so I'm just going to warm it up on the back of my hand. Like that. And I'm going to take my Morphe R10 and I'm going to dab into that shade and I'm going to apply that right here. Starting from the tip of the ear and working towards my mouth area right here. And again, warm it up on the back of the hand, the R10. Get some of that product and working from the tip of the ear down towards the mouth. Just like that. So you can see the left side of my face and also the right side of my face. And I'm blending upwards. I'm using stippling motions with my brush and going up this way. And that's really going to lift and sculpt the face. Oh. I just added a T to face. Face. Grabbing the excess product on the back of my hand, I'm going up towards the temples, into the hairline, and just for just for giggles, I'm going to run this down the side of my nose, starting from the inner part of my brow and work downwards for some nose contouring. Tip of the nose. To blend out that nose contour, I'm taking the Morphe 335 right here, and I'm going to start from the tip of the brow and work downwards very lightly. As you can see, one side blended, the other side not blended. So I'm not going to blend out this side. And now the bottom of the nose. And now we have been cream contoured and snatched to the heavens. And now we're going to set everything. And to set the center of my face, I'm going to go in with the Sacha Buttercup powder. And I'm going to set the center of my face. And I am going to do a little bit of baking as well. So I'm going to add a little bit more powder to the center of my face, down the bridge of my nose, just like that, chin, under eye. And you really want to get that powder up right here by the side of the nose. Now for highlighting the center of my face and baking, I want to bring it down towards this area right here and make a V. That way, when everything's dusted off, the center of my face is going to be very sharp and highlighted and sculpted, and it's going to bring life forward. Just like that. I know I look funny, don't I? Now that I have my bake on, I'm going to set the perimeter of my face using my Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep and lightly set. Tap off excess, and I'm just going to press anywhere that bake isn't, and I'm going to press that powder into the skin. Press that powder, and I'm also setting that contour that we did. So now that we have foundation, concealer, powder, cream contour, what am I saying? Okay, now that I have foundation, concealer, powder, cream, contour, and baking all complete, I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and I'll be right back. So this is the complete look, you guys. I hope you like it. If you want a video on this look right here, then let me know in the comments down below. I don't know what this is, but it's a mood. This is a mood right here. Also, let me know exactly what you guys want to see. That way I can start working on that content for you. And I hope you enjoyed my full coverage concealer, cream contour, setting powder situation that I have going on right now. But yeah, so this is the foundation routine that I go for when I want to cover up everything. The acne scarring, the discoloration, the bad decisions, just everything. When I want to cover everything, this is what I do. And I know it may be a lot of steps for some people, especially if you're not used to wearing full coverage makeup. But for me, this is what I do because, you know, I just want to cover up everything. Just make brand new. Just make everything just look brand new. So I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Leave some comments down below of what you guys want to see next from me. And I love you guys, and I hope to see you right back here very soon. Bye. Agua, $1. Get it. Stretch it. Gotta stretch it out. That was right.